Chapter 26. The Land of Presents. Next day all the 4 children woke up feeling excited. It was so lovely when a really nice land came to the top of the faraway tree. They had been to the land of birthdays before, and the land of take what you want, and the land of goodies had been nice, and the land of do as you please. The land of presents sounded just as exciting. "I wonder who gives out the presents, and if you can choose them," said Franny. "I'd like a necklace of blue beads." "And I'd like an enormous box of chocolates," said Rick. "You would," said Joe. "Anything to eat and you're happy." "I'd like a toy aeroplane that would fly from my hands and come back to them." "I shall bring something home for Mother," said Beth. "She wants a new purse. When can we start, Joe? I'm all ready." They set off about 11 o'clock, but they had done all their work, so they were very excited. It was so lovely to think that Silky, Moonface and Saucepan Man were safe again and coming to enjoy the land of presents with them. Perhaps what's-his-name, Saucepan, and the angry pixie would come too. Well, everyone in the faraway tree had heard that the land of presents was at the top of the tree that day, and dear me, what a lot of people were steadily climbing up that morning. Brownies from the wood below, pixies and elves, even rabbits from their holes. The angry pixie's house was empty. He had gone already. The owl had gone too, for he was not asleep in his little house as usual. Dame Washalot had gone, and no water came pouring down the tree that afternoon on the children as they climbed up. "What a crowd there'll be," said Joe happily. "I hope we aren't too late. I hope there will be some presents left for us. Oh goodness, let's hurry," said Rick in alarm. He didn't want to lose the big box of chocolates he wanted. Moonface, Silky and Saucepan were waiting most impatiently for them. "Hurry, hurry," cried Silky. "The land of present goes in an hour. It never stays long. Quick, quick." Up the ladder they all went, talking and laughing in excitement. And my goodness me, what a wonderful land it was. There were Christmas trees hung with presents of all kinds. There were lucky dips full of exciting parcels. You had to dip your hand for those. There were tables spread with the loveliest things, and oh, the chattering and giggling that went on as people chose their presents and went off with them. Rick marched up to the Christmas tree because he saw hanging on it a most wonderful box of chocolates. A goblin was in charge of the tree, and he smiled at Rick. "I want that box of chocolates," said Rick. "Who is it for?" asked the goblin, getting out some scissors to cut down the box. "For myself," said Rick. The goblin put away his scissors and shook his head gravely. "This is the land of presents," he said, "not the land of take what you want. You can only get things here to give to other people. I'm sorry. This isn't a selfish land at all." Rick looked very gloomy. He moved away. How stupid! He couldn't get anything for himself. Then he had so much wanted the chocolates. He saw a lovely blue necklace hanging on another tree, and he thought of Franny. She had badly wanted a necklace of blue beads to go with her best blue frock. He went up to the goblin in charge of the tree. "May I have the blue necklace to give to Franny?" he asked. "Where is she?" asked the goblin, getting out his scissors. "Call her. Franny, Franny, come here," cried Rick. "I've got something for you." Franny came running up. The goblin handed Rick the blue necklace, and he gave it to Franny. "Put it around my neck for me and do up the clasp," she said. "Oh, Rick, thank you, it's lovely. Now, what present would you like me to get for you?" "Oh, Franny, I'd like that big box of chocolate," said Rick, beaming all over his face. Would you like to get it for me?" Franny at once asked the goblin for it and gave it to Rick. He undid the box and offered it to Franny. "Have a chocolate," he said. Well, as soon as the children knew how to set about getting the presents, they had the most wonderful time, all except dear Saucepan Man, who would keep on getting the wrong presents for everyone, because he kept hearing all the wrong things. "What would you like for a present?" he asked Beth. "Oh, Saucepan Man, I would really like a frock," said Beth. Well, Saucepan thought she said a clock, and off he went to find the biggest one in the land. He managed to get one, and at last put it on his back. It was a grandfather clock, and so large that it quite bent him in two with the weight. Everyone stared in surprise as old Saucepan Man came up with it. "Here you are, Beth, dear. Here's your clock," said Saucepan Man, beaming at her. "Saucepan Man, I said a frock, not a clock," said Beth, trying not to laugh. "A frock? Poor Saucepan Man. He simply didn't know what to do with the clock after that, and in the end he left it in a field, striking all by itself very solemnly. Then he asked Dame Washalot what she would like for a present. "Well, I need a new iron," she said the old dame. "I'll get you one," said the Saucepan Man, but you know he had heard quite wrong, as he thought Dame Washalot said a lion. Thought if he had stopped to think one moment, he would have known that she didn't want a lion or a tiger or an elephant either. It was difficult to find a lion in the land of presents, but as the rule there was that whatever anybody wanted, they must have, the goblins managed to produce one somehow. He got the collar and the lead for it and took it to Dame Washalot and the others. They all stared at him in amazement. "What has Saucepan Man got a lion for?" said Joe. "Dame Washalot, here is your lion you wanted," said the Saucepan Man, beaming, and he put the lead in Dame Washalot's hand. She dropped it at once and backed away. "Saucepan, don't play this kind of joke on me. You know I'm scared of lions." "Then why did you ask me to get you one?" asked the Saucepan Man, astonished. "I said an iron, not a lion," said Dame Washalot quite snappily. "Well then, wouldn't you like to put it in your wash tub and wash it clean?" said Saucepan Man. But nothing would make Dame Washalot take the lion, so in the end Saucepan Man had to take it into the field where the clock was and let it loose. "Perhaps it will eat the grass and be happy," said Saucepan Man. "Oh, Saucepan Man, lions don't eat grass," said Joe with a laugh. "Now tell me, what do you want for a present?" "Some more kettles and saucepans," said the old Saucepan Man at once. So Joe went to a lucky dip and said that he wanted to put in his hand and drew out 4 large knobbly parcels, 2 shiny kettles and 2 fine saucepans. The Saucepan Man was very pleased indeed. He put one of the new saucepans on for his hat. Well, it was fun in the land of presents. Everybody went around getting something for the others. Rick got a toy sweet shop for Beth. She was delighted, and she got a fine aeroplane for Joe that flew from his hands and then cleverly came back to him each time it flew. Joe got a new hat for Mr. What's-his-name with a yellow feather in it. What's-his-name got a pair of silver shoes for Silky, and she put them on at once. "Are we allowed to take anything home for our mother and father?" asked Joe to Moonface. "Of course, so long as you say it is for them and no one else, said Moonface. So Joe went to where a Christmas tree was hanging with presents and got a beautiful box of set of handkerchiefs for his father. And Beth got a large new purse for her mother. Suddenly Joe looked at his watch. It's almost 12 o'clock, he said. The land of presents will be moving off in a minute. We'd all better go. Anyway, we really can't carry anything more. Goodness, what a lovely lot of things we've all got. So they left the lovely land of presents and went down the ladder to the faraway tree. They said goodbye to Moonface and the others, and then sat carefully down on a cushion, their presents on their knees, so that they wouldn't break. And one by one they shot off down the slippery slip and out of the front door. They heard a curious roar. Hang on. They said goodbye to Moonface and the others, and sat carefully down on cushions, their presents on their knees so that they wouldn't break, and one by one they shot off down the slippery slip and out of the front door. They heard a curious roar as they landed on the moss outside the tree. Joe looked up into the branches. Do you know, I believe that funny old lion followed us down the ladder, he said. Whatever will Dame Washalot do with him if he won't leave her? I guess she'll have to wash him every day in her wash tub. Well, he'll wish he hadn't left the land of presents then, said Beth with a giggle. Come on, let's go home to Mother. What a lovely adventure. I hope it won't be the last. It won't, because the faraway tree is still there, but we must leave them for now. We must leave them now to have their adventures by themselves, for there is no time to tell you any more. There they all go through the enchanted wood, carrying their lovely presents. What a lucky lot of children they are, to be sure. The end. So that was the second book in the Faraway Tree trilogy. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. I will be doing the next book, which is The Folk of the Faraway Tree. So a lot more adventures with Moonface, Silky and the bunch. I think in that one it's another cousin that comes to stay, but this time it's a girl cousin. So yes, so thanks again for watching. Subscribe if you enjoyed it and share with all your friends. Thanks very much. Bye for now.